Hello guys. So recently I discovered a slight issue with the PC auto splitter for Rayman Legends. This auto splitter we use that's external. It's not attached to LiveSplit. It's an external cheat engine trainer program that we've been using. There's a slight issue with it that not to say there's an issue directly related to the trainer itself. It actually functions as intended. It's actually the game itself. So the auto splitter is supposed to time out loads, right? It pauses the timer whenever it sees you in the load screen. But the problem with that is that it doesn't. The game doesn't say that it's loading until it's done loading the load screen. So the problem with that is that you have to load the load screen, and that can cause problems where if you have a slow PC, you're going to still lose time due to the fact that you're taking longer to load the load screen. So that's a problem. The best way I can think of fixing this discrepancy is whenever you load a level, there's a screen wipe that wipes the screen to black. You know, there's a little swirl thing whenever you load anything in the game. The best way to probably fix that is to have the timer pause when that appears instead of when the load screen starts. There's a slight caveat to that, but I'll get to that. But right now, I do have a working test version of that right now. As you can see, it pauses during the swirl there. And it'll unpause as normal. But there's a slight caveat that I will show in just a sec. Oh, great boost. So here's the slight quirk. Whenever you enter anything that brings up the black swirl, it just pauses the timer. I don't want to push that as the standard of timing out loads for a lot of reasons. If this game was only ran on PC, I'd probably go with it. But I have to manually time out loads for consoles, and there are a lot of swirl wipe screens going on in this whole run, and I don't really feel too happy about basically multiplying my workload by 2 to 3-ish per run. I have to manually time loads for a console run. So either I try to search harder, try to find a way to get the auto splitter to properly identify the screen wipes that only are used for loading levels, or we decide to just keep our auto splitter as it is right now, the one we're currently using. And, you know, the discrepancy is just a few seconds usually between runs. Like, it's probably 5 to 10 seconds if you have a really bad PC of disadvantage. Or the third option we could do, which I'm not too happy about, but it would probably be the best future-proof solution in terms of, like, if this game becomes suddenly popular, I don't know if I'd be able to keep up with console submissions, having to manually time out loads for them. Splitting the leaderboards from console to PC. So PC would be on its own leaderboards, and consoles will have their own separate leaderboards that I'll still time out loads for, but with a different standard that won't line up with PC anymore, if that makes any sense. So those are my three options. Figure out a way to get the screen wipe to only pause the timer when I actually want it to, which is when it's actually building a level. Stay as it is right now. That's number 2. Don't change anything, and just deal with the discrepancy of about maybe 10 seconds max. And the third option will be us using this new system where the PC auto splitter will pause on literally every screen wipe in the whole game, and consoles and PC leaderboards will be split into their own categories, and consoles will still have manually timed out loads, but using the older standard that isn't so hard on me to manually time out loads. Those are the three options. Obviously, the first one is the most ideal, and I wanted to make it happen, but there's only so much I can do. It's really, really hard to search for certain values sometimes in games in memory, especially when you constantly have to, like, load levels where things in memory can't constantly keep shifting around, so things you can find are pretty limited that are global. It's hard to explain. It's technical, but it's it's the only real option I have to keep everything together and keeping everything fair without splitting anything apart. Yeah, those are the options. If I can't figure it out, we're gonna have to do one of the other two options: deal with the discrepancy, or split the leaderboards with this new timer system for PC and keep the old console times with this more simple loadless timing method. Does that make sense? I feel like I've repeated myself several times to make sure I'm clear. So those are the options. If one can't be figured out, if number one can't be figured out, we need to choose the other two options somehow. So just letting you guys know that's what's going on. And I guess that's it.